Call lines this number. But my name is David for your champo any income. Of our to car by Channel Pay.
Me too can speak am chow.
Now happy Valentine.
Eno so any day.
Of us eh?
Eno so any day.
Oh, that one is in Valentine as that.
Romans of no.
Aye.
Okay.
Now do your bay we are singing I want to that we are singing celebrating it.
Oh, okay. That is good to celebrate love.
Of an idea okay, the Najas are no program me crown we see no.
Oh, and I all these 60 years I will be on one of your final baby.
Over.
Yeah.
If you have fine, right. But Mamintio, there's a lot of concerns about revocation of appointment of a year and Crawford Yefa Womwejuma at the latter part of 2024, especially after the general election, and the government akase womo revoke all those appointments, and that due audit processes must be carried to ensure say obia effort through the right processes and channel and sana the appointment mano. Now in terms of labor and related matters, some of these situations are quite say so necessary for handle nana.
Well, may speak up a charity for. I'm a little bit difficult. Because details in the home. So let's take at the sector and I'm
okay.
It's a teacher for. A teacher for employment, it's a process. It's not an event. You advertise it, no more apply, more applier. Now, GS4 not train. Before me train on my G. Vacancies are assume vacancies are back. On the teacher for attrition rate, because of retirement, and and then finally said this year, you see, 2025, maybe a teacher for be a 10,000 at the retirement. Internet was there, bombardians on the good through process, and 10,000 now, I better replace you more on the corner. That is one. Number two, teacher for, because that is what my field is. You have to get financial clearance from the Ministry of Finance. Ghana Education Service ain't mean sorry no I employ but be about 10,000. Come on, my teacher for. No. That 10,000 was already called Ministry of Finance. Now financial clearance. Now we capture in the assuming budget. And sana be transfer aye processes nina. And a idea it is not like say maybe a to about we maybe the teacher for a over 5,000. I don't think that is the case. So nanka details say your teacher for say your first year, then we can directly address the matter because a process a one day event. That aside, there are promotions in cover. The promotions is another process. We apply, we go interview, a coffee panel, not for your shortlisted and send your communication mamo. And also it take time. And until say we get details of my revoke or more appointments, any from which institutions are it is pretty difficult to make it a very informed assessment of the situation. So,
but I mean, when such mass revocation at the end they say do we necessarily have to engage one more form for fraud or just for them to understand? And I acquire your first form because what's chief of staff? I mean, almost so much reasons about why I take a decision to say, obi more why, or say one more interview, obi more why, or more employment letter, ya backdate. Meanwhile, no, I feel nipa no, a resume, a juma, and all of that. And again, certain disclosures are so during the transition processes, and there ought to be an audit of such employment. Akoso. Is that the right way to go? Because you don't have to see more money
be completely acceptable. For example, why employee will be? Why do you backdate it? I didn't at the time of employment, one man letter, there and then. So what you say? And I say why employee awaiting your and financial clearance. So why employee awaiting financial clearance now? The financial clearance will take effect from the day the person starts working.
Okay.
Financial clearance is never backdated. That's what I say. But maybe in some of the parastatal organizations, maybe they can do that because I'm on a tutor mocha and I know that.
Yes.
But and I can for control and that's a process that you must go through. And I mean, judges are buying, they know that. But like I said, no, I'm on my full details as to how many people have been, appointment have been revoked, let's say from the education sector, from the health sector, maybe from, say, I informed event and conversation on this matter. But for us, as a former person who works at the education sector, the info will be backdated in a letter. Maybe for September, your letter will be dated September. And then you go and work once you go through your process, because already financial clearance has been sought for you. In the 4th September, I will report to our station. Now I'm out school. I will be calling. What report? What process will document? Maybe there 2 months, 3 months, and salary number, because it has to go through another process. Maybe I will controller and the various educational cost centers. So, and that is how it is done from the sector. I mean, free. And I believe, sir, it might be so with nurses and civil servants, but like I said, I speak American, who break down into who be potting, Jackson Kofono Gumua, after 7th of December, you did that post that the amount follow due process. But the letters in the homework, about data, only Panya more order that where you can raise legitimate questions about that.
Now, my memo for a very good example, me wa obi letter wa hadoma. Ghana Water for an issue here at the man, and it is dated the 20th of December, 2024. Me person me didn't but the position no a management trainee Ghana Water Limited. Or say, dear sir, posting following your appointment as management trainee, you are with effect from 13th January 2025 posted to the head office. The posting is permanent, and you will report to the chief manager, who will assign you duties. It is the hope of management that you will work assiduously to help achieve the goals and objectives of the company. The chief manager is kindly requested by a copy of this letter to report the date of your assumption of duty to the chief manager for your former letter of appointment to be prepared. Yours faithfully, Engineer Clifford Brimer, Managing Director. And a letter like this, you revoke here, you're right, Anna.
Speaker, when I was here, come back to the beginning of Fourth Republic. So now you could share all people who were engaged in December. It's easy to get the data. And how was that?
Yes, exactly.
You're interested, from. Yesterday, Fourth Republic, they do transitional period. They are handing over, which how many number of staff of workers are employ me in December, where the appointments revoked. So what was say norm dear. Then we should be able to put in mechanisms like I say, okay, maybe in a year preceding handing over ceremony. No employment should be done from September, apart from specific people, apart from teachers, for nurses, doctors, and Saniaman. So what I say. But say we know Ghana Water they advertised for this position a long time ago in the papers. So what I say. And people might have applied. They might have gone through a short listing. They might have gone through an interview. And then after the interview, approval will be given for their engagement. And it's really difficult if you don't look at those steps now. You're 5 years age, man.
Yes, Matthew was here for the processes, no issue I will raise it, but my concerns being and it's for the employee, issue such a letter to him on the 20th of December. Now, your catcher is unreported by the 13th of January 2025. Okay. Now, all reporting on saying the full details of appointment letter. Spell it out the conditions of service. This person, I have his letter, me understanding this occur interview around June, July 2024. The question again will be after going for an interview in June, July, at the end of this year, 20th of December, and your man is now. Why should he be suffered for this? And why shouldn't be the case, employer and justify the reasons behind the delays?
Speaker, and it might be brave also when you are conducting interviews. Maybe within that industry, Ghana Water, Ebia that position now or more advertising and so on. Ebia the person who presently occupies the position will be exiting in December 2024. So what I say. So if the person will be exiting in December 2024, there you should start the process and getting a replacement at the time that the person exits, so that the person can go and start working. It's a process. It's a organization who say, "Hey, you're retirement who say around this period with me in other call." But between now and then, let's start the process. Application, maybe a 1 month, sort out, interview, say. And then your money be considered. They will do background checks and this and your money. Now, you will wait for your official confirmation appointment. They be no immediately. They will give it you maybe a month leading to the departure of the certain officer no. So it is a processes. I mean, this is a move like it came, this one came from Ghana Water, right?
Yes.
After move fresh human resource Ghana Water, they might take you through their appointment processes. Nanka Ghana for so that if it was a wrong thing, it is at the information of the Ghanaian people. If it is the right thing, so Ghana for
yes, I'm not blaming them because you didn't say employment they take it time, but the concerns now me raise and it's minu ya ne yamane krata yi ono no is employee. But obi na afa na adwuma enti processes a lead to adwuma no ansa de this akrata yi no. Why shouldn't it be the case say ni papa mu anke be free Ghana Water for come and justify the reason tia mo ye interviews in June July now after appointment at the latter part of December. But now the employee is rather punished. Or no na yasaki ni say because your actual letter man say won coffee.
Speaker assassin we say zenka another jurisdiction womu laws womu disu eye bibia naka akwa we didi we will get an attorney, a labor attorney who will take the employer on. Say look at the period of July to December make us a test January. Maybe there were other equal opportunities bianca doing who and committee me but because of the assurance I had I waited. The take compensation. We go through the law process, the court, in a jurisdictional or labor laws. That's the compensation that the person might be asking for, because it is no fault of his. But say the answer say one coin said 1 year and it naku remudia. Then he cannot justify. But if he can show proof, then Mr. Tin will let you invite him to interview me application medical any that say the deeper labor laws here Juma to Western Europe and America and Japan nominate the South Korean man. What did he? He will sue for so many things. So and you know, they say I did we not see it. Sometimes we read political meanings into that. They might take conversations via man for say almost so person for and whoever has been engaged must be taken away because that has been the process. Well, that one there it's just a hearsay. But they need to treat them with some fairness. So they can investigate. Now one can say, why are you truly needed? Because I made me catch us a chroma there. The constitution requires the human. A man lapses what a certain actor, a setting up institution. Say institution the money being a honor, you 2 minutes share president in sa. Say president appointed head now. Obviously appointed 20 deputies. Say president next chance now no doing who say or you know we need pay 1,000 akoka ho obviously appointed 1,000 without due regard to the resources available to meet that. That is why you go to certain state institutions the staff numbers are bloated. And I hope to say when they're doing this you see, and this is what organized labor must be looking at. Look at the various laws that has established institutions. Now, say, what are the things in there? Politicians to the level say they can just sit and decide on what they want to do with the institution at any particular time. The president he's given a mandate to do what he's doing. And so Parliament in the past year. So So it's a very dicey thing. And you know, I'm gonna want to you. Yes, Anna. I'm on point because we'll go through process. Now I say, I was a name for you. It is a category of people who know what Ghana water fraction.
When you're wholesale, it affects almost all the agencies.
That is what I'm saying. Says a bad teacher for the night, I'll be able to speak to it because then must ask questions. Did the Ghana Education Service through the Ministry of Education apply for financial clearance for this number of teachers in the ensuing year? If yes, when was the financial clearance granted? If it was granted in November, when were the people recruited? Because you can't be recruited unless financial clearance has been sought for you. Let me tell you what I say.
Yes,
That's what I'm saying. Who details it makes it difficult for me to make a point because Ghana Education Service it me a pro. This one could give financial clearance for the required number for the Ministry of Finance. Normally, I own budget.
Yes,
when we were there working on that was the process, and it has not changed. It's still the same.
But in the interim, no, I mean, audit processes in happening, no. Those who feel aggrieved by the termination of this appointment, no, what other avenues are available for them for redress?
Well, and I can say, like, if it's in some certain jurisdictions, ultimately the rules of Nipa de Bobra, the Yejumani, Yejumapa, Manfon, Chinchim, Sani, Manemanoan. You seek redress from the law courts. The court say, is it a rightful decision to have been made? Must I suffer for something that I didn't create? Let's say no, but yeah, systems when it is done, it is done. But like I've said, if you get the full details of Nyamanoa, because you sure say there are people who may have had their names in there who didn't go through any process. There's no problem.
Yes, but how do you know and how do you differentiate between Omoa due process any Omoa protocol nti yanam ko ebi so issue search letters there ma
but when I can feel Ghana water no.
Yes.
So no also go interview
yes.
So he or she might have seen an advert or apply
exactly
or in the CV can you send the data interview they will write to you or they will send you a soft message, electronic message, your interview date is using. These are all evidence to prove that you have gone through due process. Obi protocol, they would not think about that. Go through due process. They can do it. Diligent work, take their time, do it well, so that at least and innocent people don't suffer.
So the auditing would do a perfect work, right?
Yes. The auditing must do a perfect work. They must be honest with the auditing. Let's make sure, say, people went through the processes. Now one more. Because I don't think that an organization will just be recruiting people if they don't need their services.
Because with Ghana Water, I'm told said they are about 200 such opportunity. Yeah.
So and the 200 No,
it is across the country. All the offices. Yes.
Yeah, across the country. That means you see whether it's justified. Somewhere buying what to me over there. More MPs, more coordinating directors. Ghana Water for no are answerable to the certain ministry. More for details in Remo. More requests I want to call them here. Sani Pano because employment here before that work with Sunyania and I the request must come from there.
Okay, indicating there's a vacancy available.
Yeah, two staff to handle to take up this position. It's almost at some of their headquarters or a process because the interviews are not done at the levels at which the organizations are located, but by the headquarters and the people are sent to their various areas. And the audit let them do the audit, let it come out, and then let us see whether the decision is right or wrong. The audit will show it.
Very well. Yes,
becomes
Medasi. Happy Valentine. Why?
Oh, that was